Welcome, everyone. It's another episode of How the Hell Was This a Hit? I'm Kirk Buchner. I run this operation. I am the host, the operator, the owner of NotInHallOfFame.com, the fictitious Athlete Hall of Fame, the fictitious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. After you're done listening to this, I want you to go to that site right now, www.notinhallofame.com/USA, and you're going to vote on who is going to be members of the first ever United States Athletic Hall of Fame class. We're going to announce that in November. Andrea, Brad, are you going to be part of that show?
Sure.
Sports.
Okay, so that's a soft maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'll introduce my my co-host.
You know those things where somebody invites you to a party and you know you're not going to go, but you're like, I'll think about it. That's this.
I've done that. So yes, I laid down what the Brad was putting down, but yes, I picked that up and sort of like threw that over my shoulder. I sort of understood. But my hosts, Andrea Tessmann, Brad Nelson, how you doing?
Hi there.
Pretty darn good.
Well, wait a minute. Beep, 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 beep. There's something that just came from the Canadian Newswire.
Breaking news.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. From the Canadian Newswire here.
You gotta hold your hand to your ear like you're getting the broadcast into your.
Well, no, I got it from the Newswire here.
Okay, perfect.
Justin Trudeau's wife left him. Now, who was it? I believe on a show not that long ago.
I knew I was going to get crow today.
Who could it have been that said that his wife already did that a few years ago? Who was that? Let's see. Was it Stacey?
Hey, Kirk?
No.
You ready for this?
I have a shtick. You have to listen to me at my shtick.
Oh, okay.
Who could it have been?
I thought it was just verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, who could it have been? Was it Stacey Q? No, it wasn't Stacey Q. Wait, hold on. Winnie? Was it you? Yeah? No, it wasn't Winnie.
Oh, you long-suffering puppy.
Oh, that's right. It was me. I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point that out. And I'm not the type
I just want to go on the record
as so.
No, I just want to go on the record as mentioning that the opposite of love isn't hate or obsession. It's indifference, Kirk. So I don't know what feelings you might have towards our prime minister, but perhaps indifference might be a better stance for you. Unless, of course, now you're really happy that he's single.
Don't care.
I know
ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Ain't no one gonna hold me down. Oh no, I was right. That's all
I know. A lot of protesters that if those fuck Trudeau decals they've got going on are right, they're going to be awfully excited.
Oh yeah, there's going to be another.
I just wanted to be right. That's all.
It's going to be a lineup of those.
Seldom we'll let you bask in it.
Let me bask in this. I mean, like,
I think it's adorable how proud you are
that I was right.
Know that you love Trudeau so much, and now you're happy he's single.
I do not. I'm not. See, because you see, hey Justin, look, see.
Oh, come on. You're telling me he came in there and swooshed his magnificent hair back and said, got room for a third?
Okay, first off, I have great hair too. I just want to point that out. Also, I'm not a racist. But anyway.
You got more hair than me.
And again, also, I'm not a racist.
Who's a racist?
Justin is.
Oh, okay.
Can't argue that.
What podcast was this again? Is this InfoWars? Am I on the wrong place again?
It just wandered into the wrong podcast.
Can I not shit on somebody that I absolutely despise?
Are the chemicals turning the frogs gay, Kirk? Fill us in here.
I hate you both. This is my turn to sort of like have a big sort of gloating moment. And no, you got to turn.
I like that you came prepared with props.
To be fair, I used that prop on another show that I just did.
Wiping your ass in the living room? You got an OnlyFans going on? Catering to a very specific niche fetish?
No, I was actually part of a meatloaf thing because I was doing because we looked at the 1994 baseball All-Star game and Meatloaf was singing. It turns out, oh shit, here we go. I found it out. I found out what it was that he wouldn't do for love. Oh, there we go. All right. What he won't do for love, apparently, is threesomes with dirty Frenchmen.
Is this your version of Karnak? You read the toilet paper roll instead of putting the envelope to your head?
Yeah, I still love my bits.
I thought it was a statement on the quality of Canadian news that the news wire was toilet paper.
Hey, listeners, did you know that we're doing a podcast about music?
Which this would actually work.
For this song? Oh yeah. Dude, I am at a specific age where I need to consider going in for a colonoscopy, and they give you a little beverage beforehand to clean you out. I could just listen to this again and shit myself dry.
You know, France is going through an awful lot. The right wing will tell you it's because of globalism and essentially bringing a whole just mass immigration and changing their whole culture.
It's because of fucking this song.
You wrecked my bit. Where do you think I was going with this? I had a whole thing where the left wing was going to say, God dang asshole. Shit.
I did a spit take all across his monitor.
Just about, dude.
You wrecked my herpes bit last time. You just wreck everything.
I'm sorry. It's because great minds think alike.
To be fair, Andrea said that I was going to love you because we're the same. And you just keep stepping on my bits.
And it gets you a little hard, doesn't it?
That's another specific OnlyFans.
A little bit, yeah. I know, a little bit.
A little bit.
Me too. Me too.
Unfortunately, it can only be a little bit.
We could fraught if you want to.
Or I'll leave my friends behind.
You could leave your wife behind.
No, she left him.
I know.
Yeah, because again, it wasn't like somebody heard that a few years ago.
Hey, we're like 10 minutes into this music podcast that isn't InfoWars.
I can shit on somebody on the left, and I'm not InfoWars. I shit on everybody.
You totally can. You totally can. But this is like borderline obsession, dude. I expect you to boil his bunny next.
Can I just be right?
You can, but when you do it with such fervor, it makes a guy wonder.
Yeah, to be fair, I have my little Twitter group, and they're pretty much saying the same thing. But anyway, or X.
Well,
yes.
The song.
I don't know. This might be better than the song. I told you guys this was shit. We are looking at the worst song ever in French history.
You didn't need to specify in French history.
Okay, well, maybe I don't know.
That got picked for next week is going to give it a run for its money. So
really, for French or just in general?
For the worst song in history. In general.
Okay, well, Jordy Lemoine, who holds the Guinness record as the youngest person ever to go number one, accomplishing that feat at number 4, or at age 4. Sorry, not number 4. He went number 1. I wasn't. Go ahead.
Number 1 in France.
Number 1 in France, and other countries too. It did go number 58 in the United States.
But number 11 on the U.S. Latin tracks for some reason.
Well, I mean, like
apparently it was really, really big in South America, like Brazil and Mexico. I don't know.
It's weird as hell, this thing. So if, dear listener, if you haven't listened to this song yet, please don't. Don't. Thank me later on when you die and you've never listened to this song. You made it your whole life without ever having heard this steaming pile of rancid, week-old dog shit. This is terrible. I hate disco and I hate Neil Young, and this is worse than both of those things.
This is like worse than if Neil Young did a disco album.
This is like
Neil Young could do a new wave one. We got to touch that one time.
Oh.
Take 60 grit sandpaper, wrap it in a pencil, jam it in your ear, and just go to town, back and forth, and that would feel better than ever having listened to this song.
Well, okay, Andrea, you're usually the historian here, so why don't you tell everyone who this is?
So, oh crap! Now, who's his dad? His dad's a record producer.
His dad's an asshole.
Fair.
Parents are both pieces of shit.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess Jordy was his parents were trying to get him onto a
Diaper commercial.
Yes, commercial. That's the word I was looking for. And
How
as he was
appropriate that it's
repeating
diaper,
whatever
something
line,
you shit on.
what?
How appropriate it's diaper, something you shit on.
Mm-hmm.
And the line was something like,
It's hard to be wet.
yeah, yeah. So his dad
Actually,
thought, oh,
doesn't it help
what a
me?
great idea.
There's people who would disagree. Yes, we can deal with the innuendo now, because the innuendo monster did peek out of the closet on that. Was like, hey, what are you guys talking about?
So yeah, so his dad thought it was a great idea to record him squeaking and chirping out short little phrases and add some really bad electronic music.
Okay, which it is if you're just sharing that around your friends and relatives. Here's
it could have been in this day and age, it would have been a TikTok sensation. Stick it to a minute, and everybody would be like, haha, this is great, and then it would have died the death
if it would have just disappeared. Yeah, I'd never heard this song before, and you brought it into my lexicon now. You're responsible for me.
You didn't play it at the strip club as a DJ, huh? That would have been
no. Oddly enough,
now here comes Candy.
No, I would never have had children, actually, if I'd heard this song, because if I hadn't already had a vasectomy, it would have made me sterile. That's how bad this song is.
Okay, well, I'm sort of glad that one of us here is a parent, Brad, because okay, so Andrea and I don't have kids, or unless somebody shows up here. But at this point, they would have been they'd be in the early 20s and show up from Jamaica. But I think or Japan or South Korea, one of those three countries. But anyway,
I've been everywhere, man.
No, well, but I've been a few places, man. But so like your your daughter is 21, 22?
She's 22, yeah.
22, okay. All right. So I've come across, not many, but some parents who've tried to like do stuff like this with their little kids, and I always cringed every time I heard that. So like you as a parent, and I want your take on this, when you're seeing a child obviously exploited, like does it have a different cringe value to you than it does for Andrea and I?
No, it's always cringy. It's nasty. It's horrible. Yeah. When you know that, like, let's say, for example, the kid is actually being exploited, like Ricky Schroeder was, or
that's
like,
who I look like. I'm fat Ricky Schroeder, by the way.
Yeah, I get you. So you got, Schroeder. He had it pretty bad. A lot of child actors do. The Coreys, Heyman Feldman had it real bad. So anytime you see that, parents are not. I mean, your heart goes out to them. This one, I just needed the child to shut up. Like for a lot, like the moment he made its first noise on this thing, it was just like, no.
Even just looking at the picture, like the graphic of it, you just want to punch him.
You got a 4-year-old who's super punchable face.
Like, yeah.
Like 4.5 years old, running around in diapers still. Come on. Tell me you're a shitty parent without telling me you're a shitty parent.
I thought did you see the actual official video for this?
Yeah, you can tell that it was like directed poorly. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Weird sexual content with the parents and
What I couldn't tell.
My FBI agent knocked on my door after I watched the damn video. He's like, "Are you sure you should be doing this?"
Yeah, right after you visited Pete Townsend.
Yep.
Did you? What I couldn't find out, and I wonder if both of you did or did not. I couldn't tell whether the two people in the video were his actual parents or was it actors.
The kid made its first noise, and I stopped caring about everything. Like literally, I forgot to breathe for the entire video. I cared that little.
Okay. Well,
I wanted to die, Kirk.
I'm sorry.
You did this.
Yes, I did. I did, because I was really, and to be fair, it's actually your fault, because when I threw up Trio's Da Da Da, and you were so excited, I thought, damn, gauntlet thrown. I was gonna
Da 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 and the safety dance are two of my favorite things that we've done on this thing. And to have this little French fuck come into my life.
Oh, it's not his fault.
It's your fault.
It's my fault. So call me the French fuck. I'm half French.
You're not French. You're just a fuck.
You're a Canadian hoser.
Yeah, take off, eh?
Crap. When did this turn into a roast of me?
Oh, no, it's not a roast yet. You'll know. I'll call up Pauline and get some dirt on you.
You have as much dirt on me as she does. I'm not exactly a closed book here, Brad.
What, you only talk to her once a week too?
I'm just saying, like, there's not a whole lot of secrets in Kirk world.
No, going back to the song though, it was, I don't understand how people went, yes, we should play this and listen to it a lot.
I tried to, and like I was trying to, like, in terms of 1992, when this was a hit, that beat is solid Euro house.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got a treat for us when it's my pick.
The reason it was so popular and made it to #1 in multiple European countries was that house beat. Like, it was that.
It's a great beat.
Yeah, well, they knew what was popular.
Not for me, but
they knew what was popular. And then the novelty of a 4-year-old rapping. Like, he's not rapping, he's babbling and screeching, but they say rapping and singing. I think was
better quotes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I do think that the music somewhat carried it. I mean, obviously it did carry it because it was a hit, but it was still awful.
Of course it was awful. It was terrible. Mainly because well, I'll tell you what I first thought when I heard it. So it would have been, I guess, 2020. At that point, it's like, this is fucking wrong.
Where in the world were you where this was being played?
I wasn't played. It was a music slut. So like anything that was music oriented, and if it was sort of like out there, I was trying to find it.
It did pretty well in Canada too, though. Like
Quebec, I think, yeah. Because I sent you something where it was Jordy live singing in Quebec. So I mean, actually, again, this was not my pick. This is my wife's pick.
Get a rope.
I said to her, like, I gotta pick something, and then that was her thing, because she knew this song. So I guess somehow she heard that when she was in Indonesia.
No, I liked your wife there for a while. I think it's time that I broke up with her.
I think so too, because oh, by the way, I told her that joke you said, and it bombed. And I said, it came from Brad, and she looks at me like, no, still bad. You would have laughed if it was from Brad. No.
Wow.
I don't
was
know.
That the dead baby one?
No, it was a skeleton with a mop joke.
Oh.
Want to tell that joke here?
Oh, you want me to tell it again?
Yeah, tell it again.
Skeleton walks into a bar, says to the bartender, "Bartender, give me a beer and a mop."
There you go. I said that to Pauline. She says, like,
naked blonde walks into a bar with a salami under one arm and a poodle under the other. Sorry, Breakfast Club, Bender crawling through the air ducts. He never finishes the joke either.
Bender house. Welcome up, Johnny.
Right, let's move on from the bad jokes, because you're not as funny as you usually.
To this bad joke of Jordy.
Oh.
So this poor kid. Okay, the video itself is creepy as all shit. I don't know if that's his actual parents or not, but I mean, if you're opening up the song with the kid, I guess
in diapers with mom and dad getting ready, basically.
Getting ready. Well, not getting ready to do stuff, but getting ready to go out. But
Yeah, getting dressed. They're doing the morning stuff, having a shave and stuff like that, talking on the phone and stuff.
Yeah, but the 4-year-old doesn't have any clothes on other than a diaper, and it's like, for fuck's sakes.
Well, I mean, that's not indecent per se.
No, it isn't. But then they go out and they're sort of like as stage parents in a way. Here we got, and then they meet up with another couple with their little cute kid, and then the two kids run away because they're both awful parents apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just look what you're sexualizing your 4-year-olds because
apparently
the
kids are smooching.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the kids are smooching. They're doing their thing. They're doing their 4-year-old stuff, and it's goofy as hell, and it's not right, and it should never have been made. It shouldn't exist. I'm going to drink heavily until it doesn't anymore.
Well, I'm so happy I brought that into your life so that you can drink a lot, because that's what I do.
Well, yeah, I'll send you the bill when I have to have dialysis.
Incidentally, I just came back from the doctor. They said my kidneys and liver are fine. I couldn't believe it. Holy shit!
Good on you. I got the liver of a 20-year-old. Keep it in a jar beside my bed.
You never know when you might need it.
Exactly.
I've got the liver like Richards. I've got the liver like Richards. I've got the liver like Richards.
I'm still surprised your music career hasn't taken off.
Who says it hasn't? I'm big in France.
Yeah, well, so is what's his face? This Jordy kid. And
now,
also
fucking kid though.
What's his name?
Fucking kid, Jordy.
No, the weird comedian dude.
Jerry Lewis?
Yeah, that's the one. They love him over there.
I would pay money to watch that movie that he did. That you heard about the movie with that Jerry Lewis did, where he was an Auschwitz clown.
No, I didn't.
No.
Okay, it didn't get. It was filmed, but it didn't get released.
I wonder why.
So he portrayed a clown who was like singing to the kids as they were going to the gas chamber.
Jerry's kids got dark, dude.
I think it was called The Day the Laughter Died. And there's Harry Shearer, former Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons, not formerly Simpsons, actually was one of the few people who actually saw the rough cut of this. I'm not making this up. So I think it was tentatively called The Day the Laughter Died, but there's been no version ever seen. But yeah, that was the plot of the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry Lewis. So yeah, this poor kid winds up exploited in this video. Winds up exploited later on. They try to make like fucking Jordy world.
Jordy's farm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, you know, like welfare Dollywood.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that's the worst part too. So like you're capitalizing on a kid, and you just did a petting zoo, which was all this was. It was a petting zoo, and like what at 2:00 Jordy's gonna sing the song, and what you're expecting when he's 12.
And you can buy some Jordy merch.
It's enough to be a baby, or like as his voice is crackling and shit. Like, this kid had no fucking chance in life.
No. But he did try to come back. I mean, okay, his parents wound up, you know, they did this petting zoo thing.
Right.
It failed. They divorced shortly after. And then they wind up, you know, his father apparently wound up misspending all of Jordy's earnings. So in about 2016, I believe it was, he comes out with an album of his own and tries to do something with that, and to limited success. Very limited.
Very limited.
So I don't know what he's doing today, but I'm willing to bet it has something to do with the service industry.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for this for this kid. It's like I think you brought it up before, but I mean, for every Corey Feldman, for every Jodie Foster, there's 20 Corey Feldmans. Maybe even more.
Well, I mean, look at all the child stars we grew up with. I mean, it's nice to see that, you know, people like Short Round got a bit of a break and did some more acting and stuff, because he was just fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he was also, yeah, but he never left Hollywood. He was just like doing back end stuff. So like,
Yeah, he wasn't doing the big stuff, but
right, but he was,
there's
yeah, no, and it's sort of fantastic to sort of like see this story. But more often than not, it's a total train wreck.
exactly
I
that.
said 20, it's probably 100. Like
Well,
100.
I mean, even if you want to look at an extreme example, you look at stuff like Michael Jackson, who winds up having his childhood completely taken from him.
And then he wrecks other childhoods.
Well, it screws him up so bad that's exactly it. I mean, abusers, most of them used to be abused.
Yeah.
And so it's a cycle that's caused like that. And so these people, I mean, hell, Heyman Feldman, well, Feldman came out against the industry and basically said, hey, you know, shit's gone a little bit weird here, and people get abused. And Haim didn't really speak up all that much, but well, we know what happened to him. And you know, Feldman winds up talking about this stuff coming out, and nobody believes him at the time, much like our dearly departed Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, actually, that one got to me more than I thought.
Yeah, man, she was one of the only artists to ever take a Prince song and make it better than Prince did.
I'd say the only.
I can't think of one. I mean, Sheena Easton, but I mean, not on that level, man.
Yeah, on the last old pseudo promotion on the Hall of Fame show where I talk about Hall of Fame related stuff, and we do an obituary section. So I talked about Sinead O'Connor, and that one I was surprised how much, because I was not really a fan of hers after her first album. Lion in the Cobra, I think was a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to you. I think she did a great job. It's not for me. And
no, nothing compares to you, and the Emperor's New Clothes were the two of my favorite songs of hers.
Yeah, I mean, like Andrea and I covered that in the before times.
In the before times.
The before times. And Sinead was somebody who just was, God, she was messed up as a kid, and was messed up through her entire life, and always searching for religion, which is sort of what I was sort of looking at. Okay, so she became a priest, then she became a Muslim. You'd see her in a hijab, and then the last video that she ever did, she was making sexual innuendo about Noxzema on her face.
Yeah, you know, she wound up with.
She just never found herself.
No, that's exactly it. And well, she was very self-assured in who she was, but she wasn't self-assured in what she should believe. Like, she had her personal standard that she held herself to. Like, when the music industry basically said to her, well, we're going to need you to grow your hair out and look a lot more feminine, she went, yeah, fuck you, and buzzed it off.
Yeah, but it worked for her. She also,
and that was her signature look, man.
Well, to be fair, though, also, it's easy to do that when you have the face of Audrey Hepburn, which she did when she was young. She was cute as all hell.
Oh, 100%.
Also why, I mean, she also told that one story about how, I was trying to find again, how Prince was trying to essentially sexually abuse her or assault her. I don't know how we got here. But
talking about how you know, the abuse and exploitation of a kid winds up screwing you up later on in life.
Yeah,
and it does.
Sinead O'Connor was abused as a child. She wasn't. But I was by her family, not by. Like, she wasn't a child star, so a bit different situation. But she never healed.
No,
she never did, and it taught me that. Or reminded me of my biggest lesson in life. It's not what you make, kids. The only currency I care about is happiness.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. I mean, these guys had a lot of that stolen from them. Now, I don't know how Jordy is doing today.
Reasonably well, from what I can see, or as well as you. It's hard because like everything's in French, right? So he had his autobiography. He did some French reality show where, like, I don't know what
he won, like a celebrity reality show.
Yeah. So I think realistically, the people of France sort of like feel the same way that we do, as we're looking at, obviously in a greater depth, because that was their kid, right? So
yep.
I'm cheering for him. I hope he is massively happy. He won a lawsuit against the record company for 600,000 euro. I don't know what that exactly translates to. Something decent, I hope.
About double, a little bit less than 1.8, I think.
Okay. So, because like you look at his, like, if he peaked, if we want to say that, at 4, it's not like he's got any memory of any of this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to remember a goddamn thing. You know, and like if he probably looks at the videos that we were looking at, he probably doesn't remember doing any of it. You don't remember shit when you're 4.
Oh, I don't know. I've got a few memories from when I was 4.
And he was doing that still up to 6.
Okay, but it can't be too
but
much.
Still. And
right.
It probably is very surreal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that video of with Whitney Houston reacting to him.
But when I sent you, right? I just stumbled across that. Like some award show.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't listen to that song one more time.
Well, what it was like him performing, and there's it was like Whitney Houston reacting to Jordy. And who else was there? Whitney.
It was some music awards show. There was a bunch of.
But there were other people there, and it was Whitney looked awkward, and like Whitney herself has got her own damn story. We should do a deep dive on her. Well, there's already been. I don't know what we're gonna do with that sort of groundbreaking with Whitney Houston. But yeah, we
could look into somebody better, like Ella or something like that. You know, you want to get into a good female singer story. Whitney was screwed up. She had a bad time.
You know, she did. And again, like I will say, not a rich man, but in terms of the currency of happiness, I'm fucking loaded.
Well, Kirk, if I were a rich man,
no.
That's the one, man. Gotta get a musical stuck in your head.
Wait, it's not your pick.
I know, but I still got to get a musical stuck in your head. It wasn't a brilliant segue. It was just a bad way of me getting a musical into it.
I was going with like with Gwen Stefani.
No, if I were a rich man.
No.
Come on, Fiddler, dude.
Oh, fuck that. What do we got next week?
Well, we have one that also made it to a whopping number 58 on the US charts.
Oh, Christ.
Okay.
And it is about all the things that you can do on a Friday.
Oh, Rebecca Black.
Friday.
I almost did this one. Okay, yeah.
All right, it's in the chat.
Exploitation, because she was 14, I think, at the time. So yeah.
It's in the chat.
I'm sorry to myself because this is like awful
Friday.
And it's gonna be in my
Friday.
head.
We're gonna have. How's it, Winnie? Do you know how it goes?
Yeah, I listened to the first. I want to say I gave it 30 seconds before I turned it off. I made it to the chorus.
Yeah.
And I have never listened to this song all the way through.
That's awesome. I almost, there was like 3 songs I was kicking around for mine, and that was one of them.
Okay.
And I had to look to see if that actually qualified, whether it even charted. So yeah,
I did have to look at that.
Yeah. If you haven't already, Andrea, check out her Instagram.
I looked her up a few years ago when she put something new out.
She is mildly talented and is trying to make a go of it.
Sure, but it's very interesting for her. The whole thing is hysterical and sad at the same time. Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm really pumped for it. Would you like to know what else I'm pumped for?
What else are you pumped for, Kirk?
Are you pumped up?
Well, Winnie wants to tell you this. Hey, my dad wrote a book. Would you like to know what the book is about?
Is it about wrestling?
Or dogs? Or wrestling dogs?
No dogs ever wrestled.
Okay. Wrestling wieners.
Wrestle. You remember Jasper and Opal? They wrestled a lot.
It's Kirk talking about wrestling wieners as a younger kid trying to get by on the mean streets of
Burlington.
Where?
Burlington, Ontario.
Burlington, Ontario. There we go. Yeah. Wrestling wieners. That's how he made his $5 a day.
Well, no, that's how I protected Winnie. I sort of got her fixed so that I could protect this wiener from other wieners.
Aha. He says,
Yeah,
as you know,
I did write a
makes
book.
up with his dog.
How about we talk about your book?
I wrote a book that you can get on Amazon. Brad has nothing to do with it. He might have something to do with the next book. I've got an idea, which is a book of shit I learned from the 80s. But this book's about the late, great Chavo Guerrero Sr. Chavo Guerrero, instant classic. I helped him write his book before he passed away. Check that out on Amazon. I'm very proud of that. Forward by Roddy Piper.
Who is the guy who has one of the best fight scenes in cinematic history in They Live.
I wouldn't say the best, but it's the most unique.
Oh, it's unique as shit, man.
I do other shows here.
You do not.
I do.
You don't cheat on us.
I do. I asked Brad and Andrea to be part of it, but they don't want to because they don't understand anything about sports ball. But it's fucking
Take the thing, put it in the other thing, and a bunch of people yell about it.
Something like that. Works for me. Just recorded on the Classic Sports Review. We just did the 1994 All-Star Game in baseball, which I know
who won that one, Andrea.
I have no idea.
Okay, fuck you both. But it's actually for us. It was
wasn't it the Dallas Cowboys?
It's baseball, so no.
Oh, baseball.
Yes, it was the Wisconsin Prairie Oysters who were up against the Idaho Mormons.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I knew it.
You didn't go with Idaho Hose or something?
Idaho Ho-Host, the potato host.
I meant the rake.
Oh.
Trouble thing.
I hate you both. Saying that, it was actually, if you're a sports fan, it was a lot of fun looking at this year because that was a month before the baseball strike that ended the season. And we played a game. Was there more steroid users or wife abusers?
Wife abusers.
No, it was steroid users, 5-4.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty goddamn awful, but still.
Yeah.
I did not know that going into it. We were mostly going to like rip on some people who we knew were juicing and juiced later on, looking at how their bodies had changed. And then as we're doing a deep dive, like, oh shit, this guy beat his wife, and this guy, like, oh my God, what the hell? It was fun and dark, if that makes sense.
A fark.
It was a fark. It was a farking thing. That was for farking, sure. Winnie, what else did we do? Because Winnie always shows up on our shows. Well, Winnie did not show up on the one that I just recorded earlier. We looked at the retro football show where we did Super Bowl 10. Not the Super Bowl prep.
I like the owl, but anyway.
Yeah, but that's actually, again, it's a fun thing where I got a kick out of that because I didn't make Brad. I sent him the Up With People thing, but you didn't watch it, did you?
I went to the Up With People part and I watched a little bit of them dancing around and being horrible. And then I went, fuck you, Kirk. I think
that's the appropriate reaction.
Total rational response right to that.
Oh, it totally was. It totally was.
Yeah, said it out loud to the computer, closed the video.
Yeah. There's also the weekly Hall of Fame show with Evan Nolan, where we look at Hall of Fame related news. Vinny Los Panuso and I, he makes a Hall of Fame case for. I've got another brand new project that's great if you like football. If you're watching this, you probably are not, so I'm not going to go into that any further.
Real football or North American football?
Yeah, real fucking football. Tell me that it's a real football.
Oh, so we're talking about the sport that's named after the sport that was actually called football?
No, I'm talking about real football with real men. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. So soccer in Europe.
Then I would have said soccer. Nothing against soccer. I like soccer. I've been staying up late to watch the Women's World Cup. I love the Women's World Cup.
Okay, Kirk, you are a sports fanatic.
Yes, I am.
I have to ask you,
Yeah, football's a stupid name.
No, who was the genius? Who was the guy in charge who went, we should name this sport? And
He's
the guy's like, what do you do in this? What do you do in this sport? You carry around a dead pig. Okay, so you're carrying it with what? With your hands. Oh, okay. Do you ever kick the ball?
All you want. I will agree with you. It's a stupid name.
Yeah. And why when there was already a football?
I don't know.
That's like having two kids and naming them both Bob.
You're right. You're 1,000% right. There's nothing you can possibly say that on this that I'm not gonna. I had the same argument 1,000 times in Barbados, right? Like, which is a soccer country, and I talk about like my love of football, and some people say like the same thing you said. Like, you're right. Like, what do you want? I don't know what to tell you.
I just want football to go, hey, you know what? We were wrong. We're going to call it hands sometimes kick the ball.
Fine. Yeah, Brad,
we'll just call it one word, rugby for pansies.
No, okay. Now you pissed me off.
I don't know. Rugby, they don't have to wear all the pads. Football, they got to wear all the pads.
Okay. What would you rather be hit? Who would you rather be hit by? A rugby guy or a guy playing pro football in America?
Probably the guy wearing all the pillows. He's softer.
Oh, you think so?
I figure so. Plus, they're chubbier than rugby players, too.
You figure wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been tackled by both.
Andrea,
have you been tackled by either? I don't know. Football pads are not soft pillows. They're pretty firm structure.
Well, why would you wear firm structures on you when you're going to hit other people?
There's a reason why the average NFL player dies 10 years earlier than everyone else.
Because they keep hitting things with their head.
But you just said soft pillows.
The helmet's not soft.
I gave you that it's a stupid name. It is a stupid name. I can't defend it. I'm not.
I just wanted to know if you knew if there was some guy, like some weird logic that I was just not aware of. There's the reason why they went, hey, we're going to call this football.
There's not. Right. You're right.
Moving along.
Your thing is right. You are.
No, I didn't want to be right. I wanted to have like weird and interesting knowledge given to me.
I don't have any. No. I don't know why.
Bob R. Football went, hey, no, I'm going to name after me.
It turns out that's what it was. It was Bobby Football.
Bobby Football. Robert R. Football.
It was Bobby Football.
He was a
gentleman in 1898 in Canton, Ohio. There you go. I should have just said that. I could have ended all of this, and you would have.
I would have believed you too. Robert Football.
Johnny. Right. Andrea, one job.
I've been trying. You guys just keep arguing over top of me and not listening.
Which is weird because usually that doesn't happen when men are talking to each other and a woman's trying to interrupt.
Oh, it's a shame he's not within smacking distance.
What did I say?
I need to invent the virtual slap through the computer screen.
Winnie, bite his face.
Winnie would never do that.
Just start off like a little piranha and work at the toes.
I'm sure Winnie does that. Winnie's a toe biter.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Did I promote everything that I do? I think I did. I think finally next month is when, actually, you two will be guests on that show, when athletes sing.
Yes, I would like to be on that one.
Okay. Brad?
Sure. Can I make more fun of football?
Sure.
No.
Well,
I'm bored of this argument.
Football? No,
basketball then.
It made sense. It's just like what? I agreed with you, dipshit. Like, it's a stupid name. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I remember at a bar in Barbados, like, what's the bigger sport in the world? It's soccer, right? Yes. But you're watching football. Yes. What's your point? I agree with you. Soccer's
We're done with this argument.
Yes. Like, I don't know what more
you're arguing about agreeing with each other.
I stopped arguing a while back. Kirk is just a little wound up. I think he's just excited that Trudeau's single.
I knew you were going to do that.
You can at least correct me and say it was all.
Can you not just say that, hey, Kirk, you were right?
Hey, Kirk, you were right.
Word was right when Andrea said, "I'm not going to listen to conspiracy theories." I was what's the word? Right.
Go ahead, Andrea. It means nothing coming from me. You let him know.
You were right, Kirk.
Hold on.
Oh shit! You got some
Never heard
jizz
a
on
woman
when
say that to
you
me
said
again.
that.
All right, go. Say that to me again.
Once was enough. I don't want you getting too excited.
Yeah, you already got a bit of jizz on Winnie when she said it the first time.
No, white girl, I don't. So go on. One more time. One more time.
One more time.
Come on. Kirk was
Potentially correct.
I'll take it. And with that, on behalf of myself and Winnie, our occasional co-host, Andrea, Brad, wherever you are, wherever you may be, stay safe, everyone. We bid you adieu, as Jordy would say, adieu from the Buchnerverse. Stay safe, everyone.
Good night.